morning from Tierra del Fuego National Park. This morning I took a minivan here for about 18 euros and it drops you off at 3 different points you can choose. I've decided to start at the start of the coastal walk and then see if I'm gonna walk all the way to the first stop or the second one. Depends on the time because there's only 2 buses going back at 3 and at 5. So you have to be there. Now, coming here wasn't initially my plan, but I found out that you can take shuttle buses here. So I wanted to go to Laguna Esmeralda, but when I found out that you can take shuttle buses to the national park, I decided to come here instead. And just honestly, the lagoon looks a lot like the lakes with the mountains in Switzerland, which is beautiful. But I've already been to Switzerland, so I figured I would much rather do the national park. The entrance fee is another 12,000, so about 13 euros, which you can pay by cash and by card, which is perfect because I'm running out of cash. So let's go explore this national park. I've already seen the post office at the end of the world. Unfortunately, it is closed because it's no longer high season, so you can't get a stamp, and you also can't send postcards, which is kind of sad. But I understand it, it's low season, so it's fine. And supposedly you can get the stamp at the tourist office inside the town of Ushuaia, but it closes at 6 and I'm not sure if I take the 5 p.m. bus back, what time I'll be back. On top of that, I am leaving tomorrow morning very early, so if I can't get it tonight, I'm not gonna get the stamp, which is kind of sad because I didn't know you could get it there until last night, but by then they had already closed. But I'm not gonna rush through this park just so I can get back and get the stamp. So, but I'm hoping if I take the one at 5 p.m, the minivan, that we might be back in time for me to run to the office and get it stamped. I did bring everything. Like, you can get your passport stamped, but I think I just want to get my notebook stamped. I think that'd be a great souvenir. So whenever I am on a hike or something, I always say, oh, I'm alone, I've got this place all to myself, which I do. But if I were to wait like 2 minutes, people behind me would catch up, or if I just walked a little bit faster, I would catch up with the people in front of me. But I always say like, oh, you know, I've got this place all to myself, because at the moment I do. There's nobody else here. If I just wait a while, somebody will come and pass me by. But this is for my mom. She keeps thinking that it's me and nobody else is here. Mom, not true. There's other people here. I'm just in between 2 groups of people and I've got this place all to myself. If I wait long enough, they'll catch up. So I'm not here on my own. If I fall, somebody will find me. Don't worry, I'm safe. So I read online that Tierra del Fuego means land of fire, but it used to be called land of smoke because explorers used to come here by boats, creating a lot of smoke, and then they wanted to change the name to keep other people away, I guess. So they named it the land of fire. I assume to scare people off, but I think it's a really good name. So I'm about 1/3 of the way there, and I figured I would let you know some stats. So I've done almost 2.5 kilometers. So I'm not sure if I'm 1/3 of the way or if I'm more than 1/3 of the way. I have done 4,000 steps and I've been going for 42 minutes. So I'm pretty much halfway there. So I feel like it's time for a celebratory Oreo. It's a really nice walk. I would say at some points it's definitely a hike. It's part through the forest and then part along the coast, so both are very beautiful. Now there's also a lot of animal poop here, which I'm in a forest, so I get that. But the size of these things make me wonder what kind of animals are in this forest, because it's big. And it's definitely not for my bird. You just follow the yellow signs, and there's another one. There's a lot of signs here, so you can't really get lost if you just keep an eye out for the yellow signs. Okay, last kilometer, let's go. I will say, I think the last kilometer and a half, no. So kilometer 6 to 7, it's quite intense. It's quite uphill. But I'm not sure what the last kilometer is going to be. For now it's downhill, which I really don't mind. This last kilometer is a breeze. Easy peasy. It wasn't a wolf, but I'm not sure what it was. I will post a picture on screen because I could only take a photo. I'm not sure what it was, but it looks like a wolf. I might have to Google later what it is. Okay, so I've just finished Tenda Costera. Apparently that's what it's called. And I will give you the stats. I will also put them somewhere on the screen. But it was 8.52 kilometers. It took me 2 hours and 18 minutes. And that is excluding all the stops. Including all the stops, it took 2 hours and 53 minutes. So I have walked from here all the way to there. Just wondering what I'm gonna do right now. Oh, this is the elevation. So here you can see, I think this might be the highest point. So like 65 meters maybe. And then, well, I did it the other way around. So I started here. And I think this is the part where I was talking about, that was like very steep, and then the rest of the way was just easy. So one of the bus stops is Bahia La Patagonia. I don't think I'm saying that correctly, but I think I'm gonna attempt to walk there. It is currently 1. I think I should be able to do it in 2 hours. Next up is the end destination. I think it's gonna be a few different little hikes. This one is 30 minutes, but I'm just gonna count them all as one and start a new workout program to see how much it all is. Which I think means Green Lagoon. Verde's green, I think. Anyways, I think from there I'm just gonna check how far it is to walk to the bus, what time it is, and figure it out from there. So I've decided not to go to Laguna Verde after all, because I just crossed the road, and I think I'm just gonna take the 3 p.m. bus back, but it's another 4 kilometers there-ish, and I still have to go back. Also, I'm trying to not break my legs. So, I mean, it's a boring route back because you just walk along the road, but I think I'm gonna do that one, and then, I mean, I'll still get beautiful views along the way. If I see that I'm there very early, I can always like go off the path, because there's a bunch of like little hikes that you can do from there or from the area. So if I think I've got a lot of time left, I might do one of those. go along the main road, so you don't even have to go there if you don't want to. You'll see it anyway. So there are 3 routes from here that you can take. We're currently here. You can take the main road all the way this way, which is about 2.5 kilometers. You can take this hike, which is like right down there, which is 1.3 kilometers. Or you can take this one, which is 1 kilometer. Now the 1 kilometer one is, I mean, it's got a little bit of elevation, but it's pretty much gradually goes up. It doesn't go straight up. I think I'm gonna do the shorter one, not because I'm lazy, but because you have a viewpoint, Mirador La Pantalla, and I think you can see, like, you get a view of Bahia La Pantalla, which is like the bay and the water area. From there the bus also leaves. It is currently, oh, I can't see it. It's currently 1:45. According to the map, this should take me about 30 minutes. So I'll be there 45 minutes before I have to leave. But I can always explore the area. And I think that's gonna be my adventure for this national park today. So let's go hike the shortcut. So here's the thing, that this is probably like 99.9% sure going to be the most southern place I've ever been in my entire life. I think the only other option is Antarctica. That viewpoint was well worth taking this route. It is a gorgeous view. I've made it pretty much to the end destination, so I figured I would do the stats. It was 3.56 kilometers. It was 191 kilocalories burned. It took me 52 minutes and 45 seconds. 54 seconds, sorry. It took steps is 5,485. In total it took me 1 hour and 8 minutes, but that is including all the stops that I made. I think that's pretty good. So I think today I hiked about 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 13 kilometers? 12? I think that's pretty good. Like, I'm not a hiker, so I would say I'm happy with that. I'm gonna keep walking around here at the end a little bit. I think there's a viewpoint down there. I'm not gonna like take stats of that, but I'm very happy that I chose to go to the national park instead of the lagoon. I'm sure the lagoon would have been beautiful, but I'm very happy with this decision. I think I'm gonna take a look down there, and then it's time to head back to Ushuaia. Drive 45 minutes back to Ushuaia. I got the stamps. It's actually 3 different ones, but I'm not gonna risk my passport, so I put them in my book and I will show them to you. That's all that I'm gonna do for today, so I will see you tomorrow.